You wake up every morning already in a race to become someone, to make sense of what you are, to prove that all this, school, work, dreams, means something. You scroll, you compare, you tell yourself, I just need to find my purpose. But deep down, there's this quiet voice that says, what if I never find it? Alan Watts once said, you're under no obligation to be the same person you were 5 minutes ago. That line sounds freeing until you realize you've spent your whole life trying to be someone you're not sure exists. You think you're looking for meaning, but really, you're trying to feel safe. You think that if life had a clear reason, it would hurt less. But maybe life doesn't work that way. The story of the Chinese farmer. There was once an old farmer. One day, his horse ran away. The neighbors came by and said, such bad luck. The farmer said, maybe. The next day, the horse came back with 3 wild horses. The neighbors said, how wonderful. The farmer said, maybe. The day after that, the farmer's son tried to ride one of the wild horses. He fell and broke his leg. The neighbors said, oh, how terrible. The farmer said, maybe. A week later, soldiers came to the village to take young men to war. They saw the farmer's son with his broken leg and left him. The neighbors shouted, what great fortune! The farmer said, maybe. Alan Watts told that story because it holds the whole truth about meaning. You never really know if something is good or bad. Not when it happens, not even years later. Life keeps flipping the story. And yet we keep trying to label everything. We keep forcing it to mean something right now. We want to grab the steering wheel of the universe and say, this is right, that is wrong, this is my path. But the farmer knew better. He let life unfold without a label. He lived with maybe, and maybe is freedom. You see, meaning isn't something you find. It's something that forms when you stop fighting what's happening. When you stop chasing, life starts showing. The wind touches your skin. You hear the hum of a fridge, the laughter from another room, the slow rhythm of breathing. And suddenly, that's enough, because that's all there ever was. We think life is about climbing a mountain, but what if it's just walking a path? No summit, no flag, no finish line. You don't hike to get to the top as fast as you can. You hike because the trees, the light, and the air are alive around you. Yet most people live like they're holding their breath until someday. They say, once I know what it all means, then I'll relax. But that day never comes, because the moment you stop chasing one meaning, another one appears, whispering, come catch me. Alan Watts said, to seek reality is to deny it. You can't find what's already here. You can only notice it. Meaning isn't hidden under the next goal. It's right now, in the pause before your next thought. Think about kids. They build sandcastles. They spend hours shaping towers, moats, bridges. And when the waves wash them away, they laugh. They don't cry over meaning. They play again. Somewhere along the way, we stopped playing. We decided everything had to matter. Every action had to move us forward. Every moment had to be productive. But life was never asking for that. It was asking you to be here. Watts once compared life to music. He said we thought of life by analogy with a journey, a pilgrimage which had a serious purpose at the end. But the thing is to dance while the music is being played. You don't listen to a song to reach the last note. You dance because you loved the sound. That's what you forgot. You were so busy trying to make life mean something that you forgot to dance. The chase. Look at the world we built. Everyone chasing something. Success, followers, peace, happiness. But look closer. The faster people run, the emptier they look. We've confused busy with alive. We've mistaken movement for meaning. Alan Watts said, "The meaning of life is just to be alive." So simple that we overlook it. We think, no, that can't be it. It has to be harder. But the truth is, if you can breathe, see, feel, laugh, you're already doing it. You don't need to earn your right to exist. You're not behind. You never were. When you stop running, something happens when you finally stop chasing. At first, it's scary. The silence feels too big. You reach for your phone, your plans, your purpose, but if you sit through that silence, a strange peace appears. You realize the world doesn't need you to perform. It just wants you to notice it. You start tasting food again. You start hearing your own voice. You start feeling your own heartbeat, steady, gentle, patient. And you see that life has been carrying you all along, like a river that never asked you to swim upstream. There's a story Watts told about water. He said, "You don't push the river, it flows by itself." But most of us are pushing. We're trying to make the current move faster. We call it ambition, hustle, meaning. But what we're really doing is drowning in our own resistance. The moment you stop pushing, you float. Not because the river changed, but because you stopped fighting it. The game of meaning. Life is like hide and seek. You, the universe, and everything in between are playing together. But we forgot we were playing. We got too serious about winning. Watts said the whole point of the dancing is the dance. Meaning isn't hiding at the end of the game. It's hiding in plain sight, inside the play itself. You don't have to understand the rules, you just have to play. Imagine this. You wake up tomorrow and forget about meaning. You just do what feels honest. You eat when you're hungry, you talk when you want connection, you rest when you're tired, you move because your body wants to move. That's it. Now, imagine living like that for 1 week. You'd feel lighter. You'd laugh more. You'd notice more. And guess what? You'd feel meaning everywhere without chasing it. Because meaning was never missing. It was just buried under your need to control it. Maybe. Back to the farmer. His whole life was maybe. Not yes, not no, just open. You can live like that too. You can stop labeling every moment as a win or a loss. You can let things unfold without grabbing the wheel. When something bad happens, say maybe. When something good happens, say maybe. Because you don't know yet. Because the story isn't done. That simple word can set you free. Coming home. At the end of all this searching, you come home to yourself. You realize life was never testing you. It was loving you quietly through every twist. It was never about, why am I here? It was always about being here. Watts said, stop measuring days by degree of productivity and start experiencing them by degree of presence. So slow down, look around, feel the air move through your lungs, Watch the light flicker on a wall. That's not meaningless. That's everything. You don't need to earn your peace by solving life. You just need to stop pretending you're not already a part of it. You're not behind. You never were. So next time your mind screams, "What's the point of all this?" smile, because that question is the point. It means you're awake enough to wonder. And once you see that, you can finally laugh like the farmer did. Maybe. And in that maybe, life begins.